Oh my God, I hate brushing my teeth at night. Until you do it for a while, then it becomes a habit, then it's not a problem. But make no mistake that disciplining happens as an action in the mind. It's not something that you get. We can decay our discipline so quickly by not disciplining ourselves. You can work out for 6 months, you're doing great, you fall off the wagon once, and then you stop disciplining yourself, right? So like we wonder, like, why do I wake up every day and I don't do my work? It's because you don't treat yourself with respect. You spoil yourself. I hate who I'm becoming. How do I rebuild self-discipline and self-respect? I'm 23 years old. I've never had a girlfriend. I still live with my parents. I'm currently studying at university. I normally work out 6 days a week, play trumpet in a band, have a small group of friends that I really care about. So far, normal. And yet I don't feel like I'm living like a real adult right now. I have a huge exam coming up in spring and a paper that makes a big part of my final grade. I should be studying. Instead, I'm on my phone, average of 8 hours a day, YouTube, porn. On a good day, I get maybe an hour of actual work done. There's no structure to my days, no real work times. I just sit at my desk and let the day pass. When I try putting my phone away, I still end up wandering around the house, playing darts, making coffee for myself. And every so often it hits me. People my age are working in relationships, living normal lives. Meanwhile, I feel stuck in the mindset of an 18-year-old on summer break. It leaves me feeling useless, inferior, and honestly a bit depressed. I hate that I can't seem to break the cycle. I want to change not only for myself, but also because there's this girl I really like. There it is, chat. And I don't want to waste this opportunity. Oh my God. But I know I'm not in a place for a relationship right now. How can I expect someone to love me when I don't even love myself? Man, there are 2 things that I want to say that are the first thing that I want to say. So I don't know which one to do. So let's start with the second one, then we'll do the first one. First thing to understand is we have this idea of discipline and self-respect. And if we look at discipline, it's a noun. And self-respect is also a noun. I have self-respect. I have discipline. I am disciplined. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people who want discipline, want to have the thing. There's one thing that we don't understand. Discipline is not a noun. Self-respect is not a noun. These are both verbs. They're verbs. They're activities. And I want y'all to think about this for a second. As someone who's developing discipline, what they're actually doing is an action. There is a process of disciplining, which we understand when it comes to things like animals, right? I'm disciplining my child. I discipline you. I discipline child. I discipline dog. It is a verb. You have impulse number 1 and impulse number 2. Impulse that you should do, thing you should do, thing that you want to do. What is the verb of discipline? Discipline is the action of moving from what you want to do to what you should do. It is like literally a movement. Discipline is a cognitive movement from one place to another place. It is disciplining. And when we say someone has the trait of discipline, right? Because we talk about discipline like a trait, like a personality trait. Like it's something that you have. And this is the really scary thing. And this is why no one gets a discipline. Because everyone thinks it's something that you get. So like, how do I get discipline? How do I have the discipline? And then I'm like, oh yeah, now that I'm disciplined, I can just be a lazy fucker. And since I have discipline, since I have the tiara of discipline plus 10, I can be a lazy fucker. And then I can just do like the discipline will take over and then I'll be disciplined and then I don't have to do anything. If I'm disciplined, then I can be lazy because the discipline will take over and do everything automatically for me. But disciplining is the action that we take when we move from impulse to what we should be doing. This is how we develop discipline. But don't for a moment think that you will have ever developed discipline. That's the big scam. We think we will have it. We think it's binary. We think once we cross the finish line, it's done. It's like a number in your bank account. That's not what discipline is. Like I've said, one of the most frustrating things about OCD is how often it gets misdiagnosed. People can spend years trying to manage anxiety, depression, or even something else entirely without realizing that underneath it all, it might actually be OCD. And because it's so misunderstood, it gets missed. Another study showed something like 50% of people with OCD get misdiagnosed at first, which means they don't get the right kind of support early on. And even when it is diagnosed, not every therapist is trained in the specific treatment that is effective for OCD, like exposure and response prevention, or ERP. But here's the real challenge. There's a shortage of OCD specialists out there. That's where our sponsor, NoCD, comes in. It's a telehealth platform that connects you with licensed therapists who are trained specifically in ERP. Our scientific advisory board spent some time digging into NoCD's clinical approach and how they handle things like safety and escalation. And they were genuinely impressed by the level of rigor and understanding there. So if you're dealing with intrusive thoughts, or you find yourself stuck in loops of obsessive thinking or repetitive behaviors, it might be worth talking to someone who really knows what to look for. 155 million Americans have insurance that covers the cost of their sessions, making it an affordable option for therapy. They even offer in-app support when you need help between sessions, so you're never alone. You can schedule a free 15-minute call with no CD using the link in the description below. So I want y'all to remember that the mind is not an object that has things. It is an activity. A thought is a fluctuation within the mind. An emotion is a fluctuation within the mind. The whole problem with motivation is that it fluctuates. The mind is a state, not an object. There's the billiard table, and then the billiard table can be in a particular configuration. Mind is a configuration, not an object. It's an arrangement. Certain thoughts, certain emotions. Disciplining is what we need to do. It is not what we need to get. And how do you do discipline? Well, that we sort of know, right? When you are sitting there and your mind is telling you, oh my God, I have a paper that makes up a big part of my grade. I need to be doing it. And then the mind has an impulse. What is the verb? What is it that you do in response to the impulse? You give into it. You get up and you walk around. It is the way that you respond to your thoughts that is the disciplining or the not disciplining. So on a given day, are you going to do the discipline or not? What does doing the discipline mean? That means sitting there and noticing that my mind wants to do this and my mind wants to do this. Then I'm going to do the discipline. I'm disciplining. I'm going to take that thought and I'm going to say no, and I'm going to do this. Now you will say, but Dr. K, that is hard. Yes, it is. Just like any other verb. Playing the violin is hard until you learn how to do it. The first time you play a violin, not going to be easy. And here's the problem. When we scroll for 8 hours a day, what are we actually doing? We are decaying our disciplining capability. We are becoming rusty. So this is something that's really scary about the development of discipline. How easy it is to lose. So most of the time when we talk about skills acquisition persists for a long period of time, right? So if I learn how to play the violin, even 10 years later, if I really learn it, it'll stick around for a while. Here's the scary thing. I want y'all to think about the time scale that disciplining happens. So within one day, if I'm not disciplining myself, how many rounds of discipline am I giving up? Like 1,000. 2,000. I want to do this. I give into this. I have this thought. I ignore it. I'm going to keep watching. One more episode. I feel like eating Cheetos. I feel like eating popcorn. Let me order pizza. We can decay our discipline so quickly by not disciplining ourselves. You can work out for 6 months. You're doing great. You fall off the wagon once and then you stop disciplining yourself. And why does that happen? Why is it, if you guys notice, everyone's like, oh my God, I have trouble getting started. What we don't talk about enough is how many human beings on the planet are good at doing something, not just for a couple of weeks, but for a couple of months, and then they lose it. I was working out for 6 months. It wasn't just like a weekend. I was being pretty consistent. I was going to therapy. For a couple months there, I really was practicing and learning the violin. Then what happened? That's the right question. What happened? What was the verb? What happened is that for those 6 months, you were disciplining yourself. The verb, the cognitive action that you took in response to an impulse changed. And then you stopped taking those cognitive actions. And once you stop taking those cognitive actions, once you stop disciplining yourself, it's like, oh my God, I was gardening for 6 months and my garden was beautiful. And then I stopped gardening. And then what happened? The garden is now overrun with weeds. Why don't we say it like this? Why don't we explain it like this? Because this sounds effing exhausting. But what y'all need to understand about life, there's this idea, I sometimes hate these ideas like FIRE. Like, I'm not against the concept, but there's something about it. So FIRE is financial independence and retire early. So most human beings on the planet want to be done. I want to be finished. I want to retire. I want everything to be done, and then I want freedom ahead of me. As long as you are locked into this idea of being done, it will be very hard to progress. Now, there's a lot of people who love this idea, and it gives them the motivation and discipline to move towards a financial goal, and I think, it's cool. By all means, go for it. But I want y'all to be careful about this idea of, I want to be done with the garden. I want you to understand that you as a biological organism are in homeostasis or in equilibrium, that every day you need to eat. Every few seconds, you need to breathe. Every day you need to take a piss. There's no being done with food. There's no being done with breathing. You are a living, breathing biological organism that requires investment to stay still. You are fighting against the force of entropy. This is what it means to be alive. A rock does not fight against the force of entropy the way that something with a cell membrane and a cell wall and mitochondria do. To be alive is to act constantly. This is your lot in life. You can stop acting when you're dead. You can stop acting if you are inanimate. Understand this is life. Now, we can get upset about it. We can wail about it. The good news is it's not nearly as bad as we think, because the human organism is adaptable. Life is adaptable. So it feels bad at the beginning. Oh my God, I hate brushing my teeth at night, until you do it for a while, then it becomes a habit, then it's not a problem. Disciplining is something that you can get used to. But make no mistake that disciplining happens as an action in the mind. It's not something that you get. This also helps us with self-respect. Here's the other thing. People think self-respect is something that I have. Self-respect is not something that you have. It is something that you do. So if I take the minds of two of my patients, one of whom has self-respect, one of whom does not have self-respect, what is the difference between these two people? Can I biopsy them? Can I x-ray them? What is the nature of self-respect? Self-respect is the way that you respond to yourself. It is an action, right? I respect others. Notice the word respect. I respect the environment. I respect our planet. I respect this space. It is a verb. Here's what self-respect is. It is the way that you respond to yourself. When you work really hard and your boss passes you over for promotion and says, yeah, I'm going to give it to this person instead, and you don't respect yourself, you will accept that. Your mind will say, okay, looks like you didn't deserve it. Fine. The way that you respond to yourself, the way that you stand up for yourself. I want y'all to understand that standing up for yourself starts in here. Sure, you stand up for yourself when you speak certain words, but be precise, okay? This is really important. Those words start with a thought, and this is the sequence. There is thought, there is response to thought, and then there is action. Self-respect is not about the initial thought. It is about the way that you respond to your thought. Your first thought when somebody else gets the promotion is, oh my God, this guy doesn't work as hard as I do. And then this is where the self-respect comes in. Because the self-respect will say, yeah, you're right. You should say something. And if you don't have self-respect, you will take that initial thought and then you will bury it. Not bury it. That's not right. You will work it down. I don't know how else to put this because it's some weird cognitive stuff, right? You will have some thought of, I deserve more. And then this other thought will come up. It is an action, the way that you respond to your thought. No, you don't. If you deserved more, you would get more. Bitch, you need to work harder. If you want more, you need to work harder. Stop being a loser. Stop being a whiny bitch about it. Have some self-respect. It's not self-respect. The opposite. Self-abuse. Have some self-respect. Wrong. The way that you are talking to yourself is not self-respect. It is not respecting you. So this is the thing that is like, everyone's like, okay, I have self-respect or I don't have. No, it's the way that you respond to yourself. If you want to be someone who has self-respect, change the way that you respect yourself. What do you treat yourself in a respectful way? Chances are you don't. Respect doesn't mean allowing of indulgence. See, we indulge those people that we want to win over, not the people that we respect. We treat ourselves like we're pathetic. We indulge ourselves. We spoil ourselves. That's actually the right word. I was fumbling around for it. That's really what it is, right? So like we wonder like, why do I wake up every day and I don't do my work? It's because you don't treat yourself with respect. You fucking spoil yourself. Oh, you want to do this? Oh, does Widow Baby want another cupcake? Have another cupcake. Have two. I love you so much. So I'm going to give you whatever you want. Your daddy's Widow Baby. And if your daddy's with a baby, you want to play dots, you don't want to do your work, don't do your work. Play dots and then spend time. Oh, now the baby's feeling bad. How about you watch a little bit of porn and have a little bit of a tug? Go tug it out, buddy. Play dots and then jerk off and then have some coffee and then take a walk and then watch a YouTube video about how to develop self-respect. Is that what you need? Do you need another YouTube video about self-respect? Yeah, you do that. Your baby. Oh my God, you're hurting so much. Oh my God, life is so hard. That's not respect. It's indulgence. Nothing's wrong with that if you're okay with where it leads you. Like, if you're happy with where it leads you, fine. And I'm not saying don't ever spoil yourself, right? Remember, self-respecting and disciplining are verbs. Spoiling is also a verb. I'm not saying don't ever spoil. I'm saying be careful about the quantity of action that you take. And if you change the way that you relate to yourself, if you change the way that you act towards yourself, you will end up with what other people call discipline or self-respect. Last thing, this is the second thing. Remember I said I want to start with two things? Here's the second thing. 50% of people under the age of 30 are living with their parents. Being an adult is happening later. Being an adult looks different. What real adulting is today is trying to figure out how to do and be what an adult was 50 years ago. That's honestly the problem of the modern day. What used to happen is you used to be born into this world, and then it was like a fucking water slide. Like you just start at the top, get popped out of the uterus, slide your way into adulthood. Doesn't work anymore. Slide's busted. Get stuck somewhere. No more water. Slide is busted. Real adulting is figuring out how to be what you think an adult should be. That's what adulting is now. And I know that sounds weird, but like think about it for a second, right? So what's the difference between a child and an adult? A child doesn't try to be anything. You are adulting when you're trying to figure out how to be an adult. But being an adult is different now. Being an adult is now trying. It's trying to achieve something that has become way harder to achieve. And the problem is that we look around and we see all of these other people who seem to be getting their stuff together, which is fine. But you're not them. So instead of trying to be them, focus on being you. You're 23. You're behind. I finished school at 32, right? I'm doing okay now. Your mileage may vary. Some people will be like, I still haven't finished school. I'm 40. Okay, well, that's your life, right? It's still, this is where, once again, we get back to this idea of like what is the way you're going to treat yourself. And it's okay. Everyone's behind now. Being behind is normal, which is like the new normal. Like that's what's so terrifying about like, I see y'all struggling. Like I'm lucky. I was born when the water slide still worked. So I make it down to the bottom and I look up and I'm like, oh shit, water slide's broken. I was of the generation, thankfully, and I'm right on the cusp because some millennials got screwed. I got lucky. I was like the last, like the millennials are right on the cusp of the generation that like sort of got screwed, but things were like functional enough. And now I look up and it's hard for everybody. And that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but like you're not different and don't worry about, I mean, you should worry about it, but like trying to figure out how to be an adult is really what adulting is today. So I know it's hard. I see how hard it is. I'm trying to help. Thankfully, other people are trying to help. The good news is that everybody has this problem. So this is the problem of the day.